Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to the Midlife Revolution. I'm your host, Megan Connor, and today is Friday, August 29th, 2025. We just finished day 6 in the Donna Adelson trial, and here is your comprehensive, condensed recap of everything that happened in court today so that you can stay up to date. I watched 8 hours of court today, so you didn't have to. For those of you who are joining me who were also on the live stream for 8 hours, welcome. What a trooper, what warriors you are to go through all of that and then come to see this too. For all of you who are joining me, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. It was a great day in court. I cannot wait to share with you everything that happened. It was exciting for so many reasons, but the main news that I have for you is that the state rested. I was stunned because I knew that they had 52 witnesses on their list. And today we finished up with number 27. Well, technically, Kate Butler, who was the handwriting expert, was witness number 26. And the last witness of the day today was Sergeant Corbett, who we actually already heard from. And so I don't know if that counts as number 27 or not, but it was the 27th testimony that we heard in the trial today. And this was Sergeant Corbett coming back to the stand for a second time. So I was not expecting the state to be finished today, but they are. They rested, and we're going to be coming back to court on Tuesday morning. No court on Monday because of the Labor Day holiday here in the United States if you're from overseas. And basically, the judge asked the defense if they could definitively say how long their case was going to take, and they couldn't. And so, the main defense attorney asked if he could have until Tuesday to let the judge know about all that. Now, also, the judge said that he is going to expect all of the mid-trial motions to be cleared up and taken care of first thing on Tuesday morning. So I expect the attorneys are probably going to be there around 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning. Probably, he said he asked them to be there around 8:30. But if they've got mid-trial motions to take care of, they're probably going to try to get there a little early. He asked the jury to be there at 8:45 to start with testimony at 9 o'clock. So it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening first thing on Tuesday morning. But first, let's talk about how the state wrapped up its case today. And I think today was this was the day that I've been waiting for the entire time. I had heard rumors about these jailhouse snitches. I knew that they were going to come in and testify about Donna trying to get them to say things on her behalf on the stand. I knew that there was this written script out there of what Donna was telling this snitch to say. And so I was really looking forward to that. I thought it was going to happen 2 days ago, and it didn't. So I was so excited that it happened today. But here's how we started out today. We started out the second day in a row with Patrick Sanford on the stand. Now, he testified all day yesterday for 8 hours, and we heard all of these recordings come in. Now, I did a recap yesterday that was 2.5 hours long. It was tedious even for me. I know a lot of people probably didn't watch it. I think I can condense it down to about 10-ish minutes if I play the things that are really important. So I'm going to redo that yesterday's recap and repost it tomorrow. Then he was also on the stand late Wednesday afternoon. So this has been a long time of testimony for Patrick Sanford, the special agent from the FBI. But what we started out this morning was a little bit of a timeline. They went through the arrest timeline of all the different players in the case. So Sigfredo Garcia, who was the gunman, was arrested on May 25th of 2016. Now, just to remind everybody, the bump that we talked so much about yesterday, where Donna Adelson was approached by an undercover police officer who handed her a piece of paper with Dan Markel's picture on it, his phone number, and the number $5,000 written on it. They did that in an effort to try and get Donna and Charlie and all the other co-conspirators talking again, because the lines had kind of gone quiet and they had run out of, basically the idea that anybody was going to get arrested. They needed more evidence. So they were trying to stir the pot. Well, it worked. So that happened on April 19th. Shoot. I hate it when I forget a date that's that important. Yes, April 19th of 2016. So following all the conversation that happened after the bump, and as I put it this morning and on WebSleuth last night, as soon as the bump happened, Donna called Charlie. Charlie called Catherine Magbanua. Catherine called Sigfredo Garcia. And they just started talking amongst themselves. So that really stirred up the conversation. They got a lot of more recorded conversations on the record for the police, for the FBI, and they were able to arrest Sigfredo Garcia on May 25th of 2016, just a little over a month after the bump happened. Then they served Luis Rivera in prison. He was already in jail on a federal charge, serving a 12-year sentence, and they served him in prison on June 3rd of 2016. Then Catherine Magbanua was arrested on October 1st of 2016. And then Catherine Magbanua, gave a proffer on June 28th of 2022, where she said she would be willing to cooperate with authorities and give them more information. And that then enabled the arrest of Charlie Adelson, which happened on April 21st of 2022, just 2 years and 2 days after the bump. So then on November 6th of 2023 was when Charlie's verdict came down. And what we started out with this morning was that this was an 8-year investigation. Catherine Magbanua was able to tell law enforcement about the first time that Charlie Adelson approached her on October 31st of 2013 about getting someone to harm this other person. So the stage is set with all of this. Charlie's verdict comes down on November 6th of 2023. And on November 7th, law enforcement recorded a call between Donna and her attorneys and Harvey. Charlie had been on the call from prison, but the call got dropped. Charlie's part got dropped. And they were detailing everything that Donna was thinking and feeling at this time. She was not in a good place. She was very unhappy with everything that was going on. She basically said that she just wanted to go to sleep. She was really feeling self-harm vibes at this time. Just wanting to go to sleep is kind of down that road, right? Of not wanting to wake up again kind of thing. As they were playing this phone call, I, for the first time, saw genuine grief on Donna Adelson's face. Not even when they talked about Dan, not even when they were showing the autopsy photos. I didn't even see grief on her face at that time. But while this call was being placed, they periodically showed her face, and she definitely was exhibiting some grief on her face. And I just want to show you what genuine grief looks like on Donna Adelson's face, as opposed to what we've seen, sort of these crocodile tears that have happened in the past. So while I'm waiting for that to come up, I will also tell you that there was a portion of this call where they talked a lot about Wendy and how Wendy and Donna were feeling about each other at this time. And spoiler alert, it wasn't great. Donna was super upset that Wendy had not spoken with her or with the kids, or she hadn't been allowed to speak with the kids in a really long time. So here it is, the moment when we saw some genuine grief on Donna Adelson's face. You can see that just above her eyebrows, you can see the wrinkle in her brow there. That to me is genuine grief. I think they'll show her face here in a second again. It was just really telling to me because before, I could tell she was emotional or trying to show some emotion, but I really didn't see grief on her face until today. I think she actually had real tears today, but they were not tears for anybody but her. That's all she really cared about. Going back to this time when she was so low, right after Charlie's verdict. And then she starts talking about Wendy. And this was the part I think that a lot of people wanted to know about. Hey, Kiki, how are you? I'm hoping to see you at happy hour here pretty soon. We're going to do a happy hour over on my Patreon. Everyone's invited. Come on over and hang out with us and celebrate this great day that we had. I do have free options on my Patreon, this particular live will be open to even free members of my Patreon. So Donna starts to talk about this idea that Wendy never asks about Charlie, if Charlie's okay. And Wendy says her attorney told her not to talk about the case or not to talk about Charlie. And Donna says, we know that's not true now. They found out that Wendy was lying to them about this. And then Donna writes a note to Wendy after Charlie's verdict, and she reads about it here, and we're going to listen to this. I'm going to back it up just a tiny, tiny bit. Oh, sorry. I always forget that I'm on 2x. I forget to check to see if the speed is normal speed.
When I said, I just got over Charlie, he's worried about you. He wants to know what, yes. We know you never asked anything about your brother, and she doesn't, and she told me to a lawyer that she shouldn't have. And so we found out it's not true, but we just got off the phone with him. And he had her attorney said, I never told her that. I never confronted that. No. So I wrote this last night. We know you never asked anything about your brother. This is 8 o'clock last night. But we just got off the phone with him, and the first thing he asked was, how's Wendy holding up? I didn't have the heart to tell him that you never called up or asked about him. I just said, he worries up to phone calls right now. Everyone looks to protect you. I think you've got lots to think about. But then she didn't answer. But then I got another call from Charlie. And I said, just got off the phone with Charlie. He's worried about you. He wants to know why we didn't speak. I told him a lie. I said, we're only speaking with you and Dan right now. I couldn't bear.
By the way, Dan is the name of Charlie Adelson's lawyer, so don't get confused that they're talking about Dan Markel. They're not. They're talking about Charlie Adelson's lawyer at this point. This is just after Charlie's conviction.
Tell them the truth. Your sister never even called us, is the truth. So she said this morning, I thought she'd be racing over here last night. Dear Mom, I know you are upset by the verdict, but the anger directed at me is not justified. I don't know how much anger really don't. I'm not responsible in any way for Charlie's situation. I am not guilty because I did not do anything wrong, and I was not involved in any way with Danny's death. Which was. When I was interviewed by the police and testified in court, I told the truth, as I was required to do. I cannot control how the prosecutor used my statement to Charlie's trial. Again, I didn't say that. Also, as you know, my lawyer has advised me not to talk to my family or anyone else about this case. Now, about the case, which is true, we've never done it. I've followed his advice despite your disagreements with this guidance. Please do not text me about this case anymore. Not about the case, is it? Not what I said. About her brother. And then one, how are you, Wendy? How's my sister holding up? Yes. If you have anything further to say about the case, please go through our lawyer. Right now, I have to be singularly focused on taking care of the boys during this difficult time. So I wrote back, okay, we have no desire to speak with you about the case. I guess Dad and I are just shocked that you didn't think of coming to see us or even calling us. We are your parents. We are and have always been there for you and the boys. None of what we wrote matters about the case. That's over. I just want you to know how many times Charlie is asking about you. Not only do you not ask about us, but not one question about Charlie, right? We will need to give you some information shortly, and we need some business assistance. Please let us know if you can be of any help. I have a space here. I want to propose. We're going to be gone. I want her to have all this information.
So the reason why Donna is kvetching right now is because she and Harvey are getting ready to leave to go to Vietnam indefinitely. They've already scoped this out. They're already making these plans, and she wants Wendy to have all the information about the safe and the accounts and everything else that needs to be taken care of while they're out of the country. And so she's upset now that Wendy is not really talking to her. And so Donna is relating to her attorneys what she has told Wendy about this situation.
I have a cemetery property. I want her to steal that. I want her to have all these.
Oh, this is the first time I just saw this, you guys. She has a Donna has a cemetery property. Does this give us a little bit of insight into why she hired a funeral home owner to represent her in this case? I'm very curious to know what you think. Just noticed that. Interesting. Very interesting.
Cases and the wills. I want her to steal this. So please let us know if you can be of any help. The other thing is the visa, which she would know about. But no, I said we need some business assistance. Please let us know. If not, we'll try to find.
So that's Harvey in the background saying, I did the same thing, like reaching out to Wendy, but we can't hear what Wendy told him.
Someone who can help us. This needs an immediate reply so I can start asking other people to help. And then she always gets nervous if we want to talk to her. So I wrote, don't get nervous. Again, nothing in capital letters, nothing about the case. Just would like to show you some business stuff and personal things. If you can't do it, we must find someone who can. I hope you understand that it has nothing to do with the case. There is no more case. And then I wrote, by the way, you said you have to focus on the boys, like you told them. So when I got George before, I said to him, because I was over there last night, I said, well, we asked Wendy, but it hasn't got any word from her, so did you tell the boys? And he said, she did. Now, I know Ben was very close. He was writing to Charles over. So I said, how are they? He's very quiet. He didn't really talk much. It was Lincoln telling faithful and good, so he was coming home. He was never coming back. And so we did it for 10 minutes, and he was in the bathroom. It was fine. He's a child. That's okay. I don't want to think I'm miserable enough death. That's not my goal. I just want to know how we're doing. So that's what I said earlier, to do it, because it was technical stuff that I couldn't do on the computer, and it just was, we were out of it. So I gave the computer tech person, so I said, can you help me with some computer stuff that I can't get done? And he was on some business calls, and so that he texted me just before I could read it, maybe 5:30, that'd be good. I said, yes, but if I can get stuff done, let us know. We have the photos. We have to get them downloaded, and the other thing I don't understand, I'm not sure to help me with it, we've been looking it up over and over, because things change if there's extradition from Vietnam. Because we've looked at all the places, I mean, I could go to Korea and China, but there's no extradition. But we're looking for places where there's no extradition. So, really? Maybe she knows that. Maybe she can look up the extradition issue before we go take the time. She can tell on me that, like, now, if you mention it to Wendy, Wendy's gonna tell somebody. It's somebody beforehand. I need to tell you something as an attorney who doesn't talk. It has nothing to do with the case. It just has to do with Mom and I, and some decisions that we have to make. And yeah, I know you want to bring it up and show her where everything is. Because if it's a plane crash, no one's gonna know where anything is, or who belongs to what. So I would like her to come up here so she can see it. I don't think that's asking too much. She can live 3 hours a week. Every time she says, can you do this, can you come here, can you do this? Everything, how many times do we have plans and I go, cancel Wendy needs us for this, Wendy needs us to babysit. So we've been really good nannies, and I said, our job is up. Because now we're going to older cities, go out with friends, they can do things on their own. So she doesn't need to have her friends on. Okay, pretty hurtful. That's one son that I have one son who's supposed to be in debt. And my daughter, who I love, is doing this. I don't get it. I don't get it. I said to mother, and please, God, our family was cursed. So care, and then the man take care of it anymore.
All right. Well, I think that is quite enough of listening to Donna and her dramatics. But I felt like all of that was important because after she talks about not speaking to Wendy, Wendy not wanting to speak to her because her attorney told her not to talk about the case. Well, now Donna and Harvey, did you catch that in there? They've been searching over and over for countries that have no extradition because it changes all the time, and they settled on Vietnam. So they've decided to leave the country. And Donna wants Wendy to be aware of where the safe is, what the codes are, where their insurance papers are, something about their burial plots, all of this stuff Donna wants Wendy to know, but Wendy doesn't want to speak to her about it. The other part that I found incredibly heartbreaking in there is, when this attorney, or I don't know if it might be a family friend who's also on the line, who says that they do speak to Wendy. And, Donna wanted to know, has Wendy told the boys about Uncle Charlie's conviction? This person says yes, and wanted to know how the kids reacted. And it was really sad. The younger one, very quiet. And the older one saying, so he's not ever coming back. And when I first heard this today, it was a little bit distracted by chat for a minute. And I thought for a second that they were talking about telling the boys that their dad had died. But no, they were talking about their Uncle Charlie not ever coming back. And it just makes me cringe. It makes me crazy to think about what these people must have told these children about their father's death and about their family's involvement in it. They have not had any contact with the Markells for a long time, many years. And, we sort of were speculating in chat today about the custody of the Markell boys. Well, Dan Markell's mom was very instrumental in getting a law passed in Florida that allows grandparents to have visitation if one of the parents has died and the other one is incarcerated. The problem is, though, Wendy now has moved to Texas. And I think that was probably intentional to keep the boys away from the Markells and also to distance herself from her family and her parents after everybody got arrested. Tato Natudo, I love your username. Did you change it just for this case? Can you imagine growing up to discover your whole life is a lie? Well, yes, I can imagine it because I went through the same thing when I found out that my faith was a lie. And it was incredibly destabilizing. It was incredibly emotional. I was angry. I felt duped. I felt all of the grief emotions, and I still have waves of grief over it lots and lots of times. So I can only imagine growing up being told a complete lie about your father and being told that lie by your mother. It is the worst type of betrayal for a mother to lie to their children about the children's father. The worst kind of betrayal. But we see it happen all the time in divorce cases with parental alienation. It happens all the time. And this probably is the worst case of parental alienation in history because their father is deceased and unable to defend himself, unable to give his own narrative to these boys. The grandparents aren't even around to teach their boys what kind of a man their father was. So the only information they're getting about him is coming from Wendy. I can only imagine what these boys are going to have to go through. And my heart is just broken for the two of them and what they are going to have to go through, what they've already been through and what they're going to have to go through when they do finally learn the truth, because I think they will someday. Lots of times people have mentioned throughout the case when a particularly damning text or recording comes out, those boys are going to see those texts at some point. They're going to hear those recordings at some point, and it's going to be awful. Jay, this is a great question and a great comment. Creating a safe space for when these kids come of age. Honestly, I don't know. My brain goes to systems and trying to be the answer I needed, and that's what I try to do as well. But as far as putting something in place, like where would there be a hotline Hey, McSpunky, great to see you. So glad you're here, even if it's only for a minute or two. They are 15 and 16 years old now. And so they're old enough to know some things, obviously, maybe not the whole truth quite yet. I don't know what their I don't know what their emotional maturity is, given the fact that they've been raised by somebody with the emotional maturity of a 13-year-old. So it would be really hard to say, but like, what would you do? Like there's an 800 number you can call if you're the victim of DV. There's an 800 number you can call if you're having thoughts about hurting yourself. There's an 800 number you can call if you're struggling with substance abuse. But where's the number that you call if your mom was instrumental in having your father killed, excuse me, and then you grew up believing this completely different narrative? Where's that phone number? You've been estranged from your grandparents your whole life because you were told a lie about them. Thank you so much for this. Dan Markel's dad has a YouTube channel where he writes a letter to the boys telling them about their dad. Can you please give us that channel so that we can all go and follow it? This is so important. Let's get this out here. Thank you for that. I did see a video today about Dan Markel's dad giving a statement, a victim impact statement after Charlie's conviction. But this is really important, TLC. If you can find that for us, I would love it. Thank you. So the other thing I wanted you to hear in this recording with Donna was them looking for extradition, and then her final emotional breakdown where she says, I feel like this family is cursed. No, Donna, this family is not cursed. You're the curse. You're the one who cursed this family. You are the devouring mother, Donna Adelson. And this is what happens when you don't heal your own emotional wounds. She spoke one time, Donna did, about her mother to Wendy and to Charlie, in regard to Wendy, saying that her mother was, would have been proud of Wendy for fighting for custody of the kids or whatever. She spoke about this in an email during the divorce. But I wonder what she was really like. I wonder if she was emotionally immature also. I wonder if she shamed Donna. I cannot help but think that this is all a result of generational trauma, which I've talked about before. And I know that when you're a hammer, everything's a nail, and when I've talked about my family's generational trauma, I feel like maybe I'm just seeing stuff that's not there, but I don't think so. That's the thing. I had a mom that had some of the same traits as Donna. Controlling, insistent that you do things a certain way, disapproving if you didn't, shaming if you didn't. Now, my mom has made a lot of positive changes in the last little while. Our relationship is repairing in a lot of different aspects, but she's the one who told me that nobody Mormon would want to marry me because I wasn't worthy. That's the kind of messaging that Donna was giving to her kids too. And it turns people into the kind of person that Wendy is, where she gaslights, she triangulates. We were talking earlier today about some of the traits of a covert narcissist, which I think Wendy qualifies for. She would tell one person one story and another person another story. She would pit people against each other. Yeah. A Duchess, thank you for that. It's good to see you in here today. I think I saw you over at Surviving Survivor the other day when I stopped in for a minute. Just heard Joel at STS Nation giving a preview about some inside knowledge. This case is not just a one-off regarding this Adelson family. I'm not surprised. And now I have a rabbit hole for the weekend. Dear Lord, guys. But it's important to talk about. This stuff is not going to just stop happening. Anyway, there are a lot of directions I could go right now, but I'm committed to getting this recap done as quickly as I can. We're half an hour in and we're still on the first testimony, so I'm going to redirect myself. So she says she's cursed. That's what she's going to claim. Now, I really wanted to play for you the part of the video of Donna's arrest at the airport. She and Harvey were arrested on the jetway on the way to Vietnam. And I'm going to share this tab instead. This is from Court TV. My thanks to Vinnie Politan. I love going on his show. He's great.
Hi, how are you? You have your ID? Oh, okay. I don't want to give it to you.
By the way, that's Special Agent Patrick Sanford trying to take her phone. He was the one on the stand all day yesterday and part of the day today.
I have to go. I have to go. I can help you. I have to stay. Please yeah, you need to wait outside. Okay.
My husband's almost 80 years old. He can't.
Yeah, I can. Please, can I go? No, you can't join me. Oh, don't, please.
Please.
Oh,
Someone's got to help him get home. It's terrible. You can't do this.
Is that okay with you? Please. Can you put that can for some stuff on you? Please. Please. Do you have anything in your pocket?
No.
Do you have anything of value in you?
No, I
Plus, you have a necklace on.
You wanna go?
You can take it off. I'll take it.
Yeah, take it off. And the earrings, the rings, take everything. You give it to your husband. Because once you arrive at County Jail, they're gonna make you remove all that.
Can I call my attorney?
You have a passport ready?
Where am I going?
Just hold the company thing.
Where am I going?
You're going to the Dade County Jail.
Dade County Jail. No, this is right here, the 125.
1 second, please. Please. Okay. Do you have any other rings on? I'm sorry. Remove your earrings so you don't have them.
Okay, I just wanted to share that small part of that arrest video. Yeah, and she shows her entitlement. You know, you can't do this to me, and do we have to give you the phone? My husband's almost 80 years old. He can't come with me? No. No, Donna. Then they talked about the that they had a one-way ticket to Vietnam. And then he talked about executing the search warrant at the Icon where they retrieved Donna's 2013 and 2014 planner. And this is what the state ended with this witness. What was on Donna's 2013 planner? Dan Markel's license plate number. I'm going to try to go to this moment. Oh, shoot. I have the timestamps from my video, but my video is still processing. So let's see. So it was 8 hours total. This was at 6:56, which is about 7, so maybe one more hour. Well, I know it was the last thing that they ended with before cross-examination started. And then there was this, I love it when this special agent okay, sorry guys. That was, cross had already started. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Right here. 2008 Accord. And there's the license plate number right there. And that is Georgia Kappelman's beautifully manicured nail. Oh, I'm not sharing the right screen. Sorry, guys. Let me share this tab instead. There it is. Let me make it bigger for you guys. So this is Donna Adelson's planner. from 2013. And on the planner is 07 Odyssey, that was Wendy's car, but 08 Accord, that's Dan Markel's, and that is his license plate number. So that was basically tying Donna back to the fact that she had information that she could have given to Charlie, that Charlie could have given to Catherine, that Catherine could have given to the shooter and the driver. So while we were playing that arrest video, I went and looked for the channel and I could not find it under just searching Justice for Dan Markel because there's so many videos out there. So if anybody has thank you, Mick Spunky. I didn't even see this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. If anybody has the link or even the @ symbol and what the channel is, so that I can put it here in chat, I would love to go see it. It says, this is the YouTube channel. What Mr. Markel reads is the impact statement. Apparently the audio wasn't good. So I'd love to maybe do something to try and make the audio better and do something more to give that more publicity if we can, if you guys can tell me that. Dan's father explains why he's reading the impact statement and shares stories about Dan. That's amazing. Okay. Yes, you're right. Correct about that. Thank you. Planner of 2014, the year Dan Markel was murdered in July. So thank you for that correction as well. Then cross-examination. Now, I will just spoiler alert for you guys. This was right before the lunch break. And I have to tell you, there was absolutely nothing in the cross-examination that was worth anything at all. And I'm starting to worry that Donna is going to get her conviction overturned if she is convicted, allegedly, still innocent until proven guilty. But if she is convicted, she may be able to argue ineffective assistance of counsel because these guys are doing nothing to poke holes in anything that the prosecution is putting up there. Oh, thank you so much, Susie Catherine. I will use that for happy hour. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, I understand, Crash. So the audio wasn't good when he read it in court because he was remote on Zoom, so he created the video. Thank you for that. I do want to find it. And here's the reason why I think that the cross-examination was so bad. Because for one thing, Jackie Fulford cannot help herself from saying her inner monologue outside. She kept saying, oh, I'll have to ask someone else about that. Oh, I'll get that somewhere else. Oh, I'll get that in another way. It's like, we don't need to hear about your incompetence like out loud while you're interviewing a witness. The other thing is that she does way too much to talk about Dan Markel, to talk about how emotional it was, to talk about how bad it is for the boys, and to talk about the details of his horrible, brutal murder. Now, I think that stuff deserves air, absolutely. I'd love to hear it from the Markel family. I'd love to hear it from the prosecution. But when you're defending someone, you want to distance your client from those emotional details as much as you possibly can, right? I would think. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. And yes, Attorney Josh seems very unprepared. Every time they go to cross-examine, he's like, just a second, and then shuffles his papers for 3.5 minutes. Even between questions with a witness, he goes back to the table, looks for something, finds something on the laptop. It's just ridiculous. So there was nothing in there. My favorite question, which I think came from the Lori Vallow Daybell School of Attorneys, she asked the special agent when they got to the airport, if he sat down. He said, I don't remember. She said, did anyone sit down? He said, I don't remember. Well, what's the point? Who cares if anybody was sitting down? It's like, move along to the next important thing in the series of events. Don't just ask him, you got to the airport. Then what did you do? We went through security. Okay, then did you go sit down? Who gives a flying frog bleep? Okay, sorry. Snark is coming out early. Anyway, he was somewhat amused. Tato, not Tuto. Now I'm curious about what your regular username is because I see a potato, not a patuto. Anyway, He seemed amused at several times because the questioning was so incompetent. Then we heard from Lieutenant Jonathan Grossman. He took pictures at the Adelson's house when the warrant was served on November 14th of 2023. He noted that he photographed the planner, and he found a note about an M11 gun that was to be sold. And then on cross-examination, they asked if anyone else was present. He said Harvey Adelson was present, and they also brought an electronic canine dog, to which brilliant Jackie responded, what does an electronic canine dog do? Detects drugs, Jackie. What do you think an electronic canine does? Detects electronic devices. Sheesh. Anyway, moving on. The next witness number 24, was Patricia Bird. And can I just say, I've got a thumbnail all ready to go for these two queens who testified, the jailhouse informants. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward so you can see these beautiful ladies coming on the stand to come up against Donna. And they were her downfall, I believe, personally, in my opinion. I believe that these two ladies took Donna down. So here we have Patricia Bird. She was in the Leon County jail on a probation violation, and she was in custody with Donna Adelson for 6 to 7 months in the same pod. She slept next to Donna and talked to her all day, every day, 24/7 for those 6 or 7 months. Not only that, what? I know Joel is there. Yeah, Joel is there. Just wasn't sure by your verbiage. Get that chat back up from Duchess. What? Great coverage again today. Lectures by Professor Joe. Oh, on STS. Cool. I do appreciate the guests that they have on their live stream with the attorney commentary. But you'll never find snark like you find in our chat. Nor neither that nor our tongue twisters, which I'm so mad at myself. I start all those tongue twisters to read them at the end of the live stream, and I was so excited that the state rested that I forgot that they were starred. So now I'm going to have to go back and find them again. Yes, very reliable source. I don't know if this is the one. Lori Shallow case was referred to multiple times in STS chat, and not only by me. I actually have been in touch with Steve Cohen trying to get back on Surviving the Survivor because I got bumped lots last time I was asked to go on there. So I would love to go on again. Apparently the reason court started late this morning was because Jackie took a sleeping pill and overslept. She had to walk it off. She took a sleeping pill and overslept. Good God. Just on that event alone, probably Donna could get, anyway, I don't want to say too much. Oh my gosh, I just can't with these people. Anyway, goodness gracious, I don't have words. I'm speechless. Golly Sinatra, I always love your username. Because I want to say Gail Sinatra. Good God. Okay, so McSpunky, can you imagine if Joel and I were together? You know, that would just be so much fun. So I want to go back on his show again. Anyway, it was accidental. Okay, sure. You know, took a sleeping pill. Hi, Aida Shah. It's good to see you again. I get it. I mean, you know, all of us need a sleeping pill from time to time. But, you know, when you're in a very high profile case, you maybe want to take half a sleeping pill or something. I don't know. How did we find this out, by the way? I mean, obviously, well, okay, so Joel is there in person. So that's how they found out, because they said it out loud. Good God. Hey, Vicky, you are quite welcome. No, not Donna. Donna did not take a sleeping pill. Her attorney took a sleeping pill. Jackie, her attorney, took a sleeping pill. And apparently it was too much, and she had to walk it off this morning. And that's why court was late. Yes, I would need more than a sleeping pill if I was defending Donna. Got it? Yep. Oh, goodness gracious. Some other attorneys in the court gallery told him, I have no words. I have no words. Yeah, Jackie is Donna's attorney. She said she mistakenly took it. It was from a source of Joel's. Yes, it is worrisome little bit about appeal. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to have to, she said at one point, she said, I lost my train of thought. That's what I'm talking about. Her inner monologue being out there for all of us to hear. Shoosh. All right. Well, I'm going to move on. Maybe that's why she was so dense today. I don't know. Her brain, look, I have compassion for anybody with sleeping issues. I've had them before. So I get it, but goodness. Yeah. Maybe she couldn't sleep last night because she slept all day in court. I know if you take a nap, in the middle of the day, you're going to be too wide awake at bedtime. That's the way that works when you're a toddler. All right, moving on. Okay, so this queen, Patricia Bird, was friends with Donna. Well, anyway, they were in the same pod, slept next to Donna for 6 to 7 months and talked to her 24/7. And so Drina was the other one, and we'll hear from Drina in a minute. Donna said that she did it. She did it. Donna did it to keep her grandkids, but didn't expect it to go that far. Donna asked Patricia about Catherine Magbanua. Did she know her? And God bless Patricia. She did know Catherine Magbanua. She was incarcerated with her for 1 to 2 years. Patricia told Donna, yes, I know Catherine. And she said she did it because her boyfriend's parents had money. Now, Donna offered Patricia a trailer with land and offered that Donna's husband, Harvey, would fix her teeth in exchange for information about Catherine Magbanua. Now, what Patricia then revealed to us is that Catherine Magbanua actually didn't say that. But that's what Donna wanted to hear. And she also said, what else did she get in exchange for this? Well, Donna would buy canteen for her, which means, the snacks and treats that they sell at the commissary that are kind of junk food stuff and, desserts and whatever. So Patricia also spoke to Donna Adelson's attorney and told the attorney exactly what she's saying today. She also spoke to Drina Bernhardt. The attorney did. The attorney also spoke to Drina, who we're going to hear from next. Patricia told her attorney also what had happened, that Donna had approached her and asked her for information about Catherine Magbanua. Then an investigator came to talk to Patricia and ask her about this whole situation. Then on cross-examination, this little troll of a man, we call him Timu Paul Giamatti because he kind of looks like Paul Giamatti a little bit. He came after Patricia. He said, was the investigator that came to speak with you white or black? I'm thinking to myself, what does that have to do with anything? Patricia answers, the investigator was black. And so Timu Paul Giamatti says, do you remember testifying in a hearing a week ago and saying that the investigator was white? And Patricia said, yes, I do remember saying that. And he said, well, were you confused or you just didn't know? And she said, I was confused. He said, what were you confused by, the race of the investigator or the question? And Patricia said, I was confused by the question. despicable tactic, in my opinion, to bring race into it for no reason and to try and impeach this witness on a minuscule mistake that she made because she was confused about a question. Okay, got news for you. The Patreon happy hour is going to be a little late, guys, because I want to make sure that I cover this thoroughly. Okay, so there was a question from on direct examination that Patricia knew that Donna Adelson had written checks to Catherine Magbanua. And this guy asks her, did Donna tell you that she only wrote checks to Catherine Magbanua? And Patricia answered, that's all she told me, basically. Then Patricia admitted that she said that Catherine Magbanua was manipulative. And then he tried to impeach her, saying that she didn't sleep right next to Donna for that whole 6 to 7 month period. Well, then Patricia clarified they were in 2 different pods together. In the first pod, they slept right next to each other. And in the second pod, they were in the same room together. And then there was redirect, where Georgia allowed her to clear up this misunderstanding about sleeping right next to her. I want to just go to this moment because it kind of made me mad when the defense attorney tried to catch her out by, basically at the end of this testimony, trying to drop a mic and actually, was backfired, in my opinion, after he, searched for something for 20 minutes on his computer over here.
May I approach the witness?
I think I need to fast forward a little bit more.
So when you're sleeping in the same section from
Examination.
Will you finish what you were going to say, please?
Okay. Here's the question. Oh, wait. No, this was, well, okay. Let me see I think this is the question.
You testified that you
Yes, here we go.
incarcerated with my client for 6 to 7 months. How much of that time were you actually sleeping in the bed next to her?
Somewhere in between 3 to maybe 4 months.
The jail records reflect something differently. Would they be more accurate?
Could be.
Could be more accurate, or they
Yeah.
are?
They are, because we were.
Thank you. Nothing further.
See, this guy
Direct examination.
was not interested in hearing her testimony. He was just trying to impeach her.
Finish what you were going to say, please.
We were in 2 different pods together.
Okay. So did you sleep together, or I'm sorry, sleep in the same pod as her, sleep next to her in one pod and sleep further from her in another pod? What do you mean?
I slept next to her in one pod, and then we slept in the same section in another part of the jail.
Okay. So when you're sleeping in the same section from someone, are you still in the same room with them?
Yes.
Okay. Despite whether you were sleeping next to her or a few beds over from her, did you guys still have downtime each day in the pod together?
Yes.
Okay. And did you talk most of the day, every day, for several months at a time?
On a regular basis.
All right. Regardless of how many times the defense sent investigators to talk to you, you did speak to them multiple times.
Yes.
And you also spoke to state attorney's office investigators. Is that right?
Yes.
And your own attorney?
Yes.
And you've testified at a prior proceeding as well?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask Donna Adelson whether she wrote checks to Catherine Magbanua, or did you ask her whether she did what they're accused her of doing?
I asked her if she did what they accused her of.
Okay. And she said yes.
And she said yes.
Thank you.
And that's all she wrote. Okay. So I was really glad that they did this redirect. It was masterful. It was really well done. Now, somebody asked in Donna's planner, just above where she notes Danny's vehicle and license info, she lists an Odyssey. Does that have any significance? The Honda Odyssey was Wendy's car. So Wendy's van. That's right. Okay. Next up, we had Drina Bernhardt. And I'm going to fast forward here. Drina was a lovely, lovely witness. And she's serving, well, she had 27 prior convictions. She became friendly with Donna Adelson, and they were friendly for about 4 months. They were in the same pod. Donna called this lovely lady her jail daughter. I wonder how Wendy would feel about that if she knew that Donna was calling this person her jail daughter. Donna also called this woman her sunshine. Hang on one second. My dogs are going insane. I'm going to put them outside. It's not just Zoomies. They feel like they have to attack each other in the afternoon. I don't know why. Anyway, Donna called Drina her sunshine, or called her sunshine. That's what she called her grandchildren, by the way. So I think that's kind of gross. Donna painted pictures for her and wrote notes to her. And we're going to actually take a look at this.
Her jail daughter?
Yes, sunshine.
Did she paint pictures for you and write notes to you and things like that?
Yes, ma'am.
And approach and show you what I marked as State's Exhibit 61. This is one of the pieces of art and letters that she wrote to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge asked me to have it State 61.
No objection. Anyway, state 61 is the motion.
Permission to publish.
You may.
So is this her initials down here?
Yes, ma'am.
And on the back, is that a little note to you?
Yes, it is.
Dear Drina, I hope your life will be filled.
Dear Drina, I hope your life will be filled with love, joy, and flowers. You deserve only the best because you are the best. Love, Donna. Donna's emotional age, I don't know, teenage girl. That's basically what I would say. In one of my other recaps, I think I accidentally said Donna when I meant Wendy in reference to acting like a teenage girl. And I was like, it's the same thing. They both act like teenage girls. I bet Donna can probably paint a cardinal better than I can. Goodness. Excuse me, guys. All right. Donna Adelson, according to this witness, brought up her case daily and talked about her case all the time. And Georgia asked Drina, why is it that you decided to come forward? And she said, initially it was for selfish reasons, but then I believed it was the morally correct thing to do to come forward because, number one, I was hoping, the selfish reasons were that I was hoping I could get help, maybe a lighter sentence, or get sent to rehab. God bless this woman. She's been struggling with addiction and she wants to go to rehab. That's why she has so many prior convictions, a lot of burglary, petty theft, things like that. But she just wants to go to rehab. But then she said that the morally correct reason that she wanted to do it was to get justice for Dan Markell. And then she testified that Donna told her that Donna was extremely, this is the word she used, extremely worried about Robert Adelson's testimony. Then Donna also asked Drina about Catherine McBanawa. Drina also knew Catherine McBanawa. Then this is the part that is just the chef's kiss, my favorite thing in the whole world. Donna wrote a script for Drina with questions and answers about what Donna wanted Drina to say on the stand to testify on Donna's behalf. Drina was supposed to study it and make sure that she could say it correctly on the stand. She also was supposed to, Donna wrote this in Drina's notebook. and Drina was supposed to recopy it in her own handwriting and then give the original back to Donna. That is damning. If there was an indecent proposal, go ahead and post it again because I'd love to see it. Every once in a while I get to look at chat and I get distracted. So I want to show you guys this notebook. This comes about 4 minutes later. Oh, shoot. I have to go backwards. So we're going 21. About here.
Script for you of exactly what she wanted you to testify to?
She did.
I'm going to approach and show you what I marked as State's Exhibit 62.
Now, as we read
I do.
through this script, Georgia asked Drina if she was familiar with Charlie Adelson's testimony in his trial, and she said she was not. And that'll become significant in a second because we're going to talk a little bit about extortion. This is Drina's notebook, the notebook that belongs to Drina.
Whose handwriting is this on this first page?
That's Donna's, Ms. Anderson.
Okay, so she wrote this in your notebook?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is it you were supposed to do?
Question: how do you know who Donna Adelson was? Answer: everyone knew her. She's been on the news. I've seen and heard about this on some TV shows and read it in the newspaper over the years. Question: why did you speak to her? She knew I had information about Catherine. I'm not sure how long they show this for, or if we're going to get to see the rest of it. This poor woman is definitely nervous, but she did a great job, especially when the defense was trying to cross-examine her and shame her, and she stood her ground. She was just amazingly strong. I want to send her, not a bouquet of flowers. I would like to send her, I don't know, something good to eat. I don't know. I just feel for her. I'm wanting them to show the notebook again so that we can read some more of this. Okay, good. They're going to show some more right now. Okay. So where we left off, it says, she knew that I had information about Catherine from the many times I had been with her in jail. Now, this is not how this person is going to talk, but this is Donna's voice, right? Question: what did you tell her? Answer: I approached her, told her I had some information about Catherine, and did she want to hear it? She said yes. I told her that Catherine told Charlie on the night of the murder that some friends of hers went to Tallahassee and killed him. She asked Charlie to give her the $1/3 million that he was going to pay. Now, first of all, the murder did not take place at night. I don't know. There's something going on in chat. I don't know what it is, but I trust you guys to take care of anything that goes too crazy, right? I just have fun, and I'll read it later, I guess. But I just wanted to note, like, this is there are at least twice Donna Adelson refers to the murder happening at night, and it didn't happen at night. It happened first thing in the morning. So if I'm the defense, that's what I'm going to pick on. That's what I'm going to say is, like, Donna didn't even know when the murder took place. But nope, they didn't pick up on that because they're idiots. Okay, so are you guys following this? This is what Drina was supposed to say. Drina was supposed to say, Catherine approached me and said that she told Charlie on the night of the murder that some friends of hers went to Tallahassee, killed Dan Markell, and then Catherine asked Charlie to give her the $1/3 million that he was going to pay. Come on, scoot down. So his sister could relocate with her children to Miami. He went crazy on her, meaning Charlie went crazy on Catherine. He said that that was going to be an offer to his, I'm sorry, I'm ahead of Georgia here, guys. I'll read the whole thing. Maybe she's not gonna read any more of it. I think she does though. Nope, maybe not. Okay, to his brother-in-law. And then, so, Georgia asks Drina, did Catherine McBenoit actually say this to you? And she said no. And what did she receive in as compensation for this? And she said that she received packages, which just meant that they would fill a box with gas station food and send it to her in the jail. And phone calls. Phone calls were very expensive, and sometimes Donna would let Drina use her phone minutes or whatever. She was also promised $10,000 and a grand piano, to which in the chat I said, what is she going to do with the grand piano? And also, she was promised cameras and pills. And Georgia said, why did Donna offer you pills? And she said, because I was struggling with addiction at the time, and she was going to get pills for me. What a piece of crap Donna is to offer pills to somebody who is trying to overcome addiction. That's awful. Then she said that Harvey was going to Zelle the $10,000 to her. First of all, Zelle has its limitations. Okay, you can't just send $10,000 on Zelle. Also, you would have to have a bank account. It just seems like this just wouldn't have worked out for this person to actually receive the money. But she was supposed to contact Harvey through the Signal app, which if WhatsApp is something that people use to not be detected, Signal is like even a step above that a lot of ex-military law enforcement use to be to have secure communications. Let me put it that way. Okay. Then the horrible, disgusting cross-examination. This guy came after her, basically trying to allege that the reason that she got released was not a result of her, was as a result of her cooperation in this case. Basically trying to say that, that she's only saying this and testifying against Donna because she got an early release for that. But they cleared that up in redirect that was not the case. Just realized that my computer was unplugged. Okay. There was a lot of information about a PRR sentence. I'm not going to bore you with it. I basically just want to tell you that this guy tried to go after her and say that she definitely, she got a shorter sentence, or she got some leniency because of this, and that's the only reason she's doing it. And that's not the case. He referred to this as her get out of jail free card. And she just said, I don't have an answer for that. Good for her for not taking his stupid bait. Then he tried to say, so you went up to Donna and you started asking her all of these questions. And she said, no, Donna Adelson volunteered this information to me. Then there was an incident where Drina sat where she could make sure that the camera would catch her talking to Donna and going over paperwork. And basically she's like, yes, I wanted to be on camera so that when I went and told somebody about this, that they could say, oh yeah, you did have a conversation with her. But Donna Adelson definitely wrote the script. She and I were supposed to practice it, is what Gina said. And then he asked her, did Donna take anything out of your notebook? Did Donna Adelson, or did you tell Donna Adelson what to write? No, just basically trying to allege that Donna didn't write it, but that Drina told Donna to write it, which doesn't make any sense at all. She said, sorry, the attorney said, well, you know what? I'm just gonna play the last moment of this because it was super gross. Oh, they do show some more of this script, so I want to look at it one more time. They don't know Charlie. She told him she wouldn't tell her friends who he was. Yeah, so Catherine's friends don't know Charlie. Catherine said she wouldn't tell her friends who Charlie was. Catherine can keep him safe. He opened his safe and gave her stacks of money. Then Catherine told him that he can pay her the rest in cash. He already was paying her cash, stupid Donna. She said he was giving her $3,000 every month. She laughed, Catherine laughed about how easy it was to extort him for the money. He wouldn't have to take her out for a fancy dinner. She could buy plenty of fancy dinners with $350,000. And then she asked, did you underline extort or did Mrs. Adelson underline it? And it definitely was Mrs. Adelson that underlined it. So where are we right now? We're at 216, 215, 50. Oh, okay. So 217, 216, 215. I just want to make sure there's not one more. I think that's it, of what they showed of this. Okay, now cross-examination when this guy finally gets around to it. I think this is the last question.
Redirect examination.
Gotta rewind just a little bit.
Yes.
Just a moment, Your Honor. Okay. So if you didn't reach an agreement with the state, the court would have to sentence you to 15 years, day for day.
If I went to trial and was found guilty, yes.
So that your understanding is if you went to trial, you would face 15 years, day for day.
If I was found guilty, yes.
Okay. So we're talking about a violation of probation. You go to a VOP hearing. You've already testified that you started using again.
Yes,
You didn't show up for probation.
correct.
So if you went to,
Of what went on in jail?
yes.
I may have. I don't remember.
Now let's talk about that video. I believe the state's going to be introducing that a little bit later. Now,
But no, any of that, some kind of deal, not 15 years max.
I didn't practice it.
during that time that you were sitting there, did you write anything down?
I may have colored or.
Oh,
written
sorry.
something, but
I'm not
I
sharing with
honestly
you.
don't remember.
Did you take things out of the notebook that you'd already written and show them to her?
Probably, maybe. I don't know. I honestly don't remember. It's been a while.
So you don't remember telling her what to write.
No, I didn't tell her what to write.
Your testimony here today is that you never told her what to write.
Yes,
That's the one thing you are sure about here today. Just a moment, Your Honor.
That was just really rude, in my opinion. You know, he didn't need to treat her like that. So on redirect, basically Georgia was able to clear that up and say that Darina provided this script to law enforcement, to the investigators, before her recent release and rearrest. And that was it. So then there was a lovely woman, Kate Butler, who came on, and she was a handwriting expert, and she was very detailed. She was very passionate about her job. She did an excellent job. If you're interested in handwriting experts and the way that she broke this down, you should go watch that. It's at about hour, it's right around hour 5. It's almost to hour 6 in my live stream. I don't know the answer to your question, Anna Ventura. I'm hoping somebody in chat will know it. So anyway, Kate Butler did a great job. If you want to know all the details of her testimony, please go watch it. But basically, she said that Donna Adelson was the writer of this script unequivocally, without any question. Then for cross-examination, the attorney said, Your Honor, we've never contested that Donna Adelson wrote the script. And so he said, very well, your next witness. And Georgia said, move to strike that last comment. And it was sustained. That comment was stricken, and the jury was instructed not to consider that as evidence. Then finally, Sergeant Corbett came on, and he was the one who took pictures from the text messages from Donna Adelson's phone. And this is actually where we get to see the whole script. Well, not the whole script, but we get to see some more parts of it. And I just need to find, right, here we go. So we've already seen that part. And then Georgia Kappelman asked, when was it that Donna learned the word extortion? And he said that there was a Google search that was done. I wanted to see if I could catch his answer on this.
It does, yes. He opened the safe and gave her stacks of money.
And what does the rest of that paragraph say?
Then she told him he can pay her the rest in cash. She said he was giving her $3,000 every month. She laughed about how easy it was to extort him for the money. He wouldn't have to take her out for a fancy dinner. She could buy plenty of fancy dinners with $350,000.
First, learn the meaning of the word extortion.
Well, we know that there was a search from the web history of that forensic examination, and I can move to that now, that was in October of 23. That is reference to extortion versus blackmail.
Okay, and what date?
What we need is for somebody to, we need for Kiki to just always be in chat so that she can text me whenever I'm muted. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. I was looking at the screen and not paying attention to chat, and I was muted for how long? Oh, only a couple of minutes. Okay, that's not too bad, I guess. We need some kind of an alert. I don't know. Anyway, I'll go back. Okay. I'm assuming you saw the text messages that I put up on the screen, right? But that's all I was doing is reading the text messages. Donna to Wendy, I'm sorry this has been our life for so many years. It's been torture, but your lawyer didn't want you to know what happened. I think if you did, our relationship and yours with Charlie would have been much different. I hope he knew what he was doing. Your testimony was crucial. Let's see what a jury does to him and to the rest of us. You know I'm next, but that won't happen. I'll take care of that. And I think she was talking about self-harming at that point. And then this text exchange on the day of Charlie's conviction, we shouldn't have to pray. He's telling the truth, protected his little sister for years, suffers through this. And now what? Prayer hands? And then Donna sends out all these text messages to all these different people saying that the truth is finally out. She's so happy, sends it to all of these people, these group messages. This was November 1st of 2023. I think that was the day that Charlie testified in his own trial. And then a series of text messages between Charlie Adelson and Catherine Magbanua, where basically there were text messages exchanged between them from July of 2014 all the way through December of 2015, where they're friendly with each other. They talk back and forth with each other. They joke with each other. Charlie says like things like, "I love you and I'm happy. I'm glad you're in my life. You're a friend for life. Happy birthday. I miss you." This kind of stuff. At no point did they ever discuss Dan Markel's murder. They never discussed money, and they never discussed extortion of any kind. They did talk back and forth on WhatsApp as well, which is an over-the-top app, meaning that there will be a data point that you sent a text message on WhatsApp, but there will be no record of the actual text that was sent. Then on July 26th of 2016, fast forward through a lot of these texts between Charlie and Catherine Magbanua. 21st, 2016. It's in the paper from yesterday. I spoke to Marcus this morning. He said it's not official yet, but it's looking that way after he spoke to Garcia's attorney. I believe this was the day that Sigfredo Garcia was arrested. Looking back on my notes, no, that's not the day he was arrested, but there was something in the paper. Run straight into Katie. What a small world. Katie is Catherine Magbanua. This was 2 months after Sigfredo Garcia was arrested. And what they wanted to note was that there was no outrage from Charlie about they've arrested the man that killed Dan Markel. It's possible that he's going to be convicted, but there's no outrage for any of this stuff. Then there's this super dramatic text message back from Donna that I just have to cover because it's just Donna being dramatic. Sending a text to Wendy. Donna's excited about whatever's in the paper. Oh, okay, I know what it was. So there was a convicted felon that was selling drugs that Sigfredo Garcia was in touch with. And so basically what they're trying to assert here now is this new narrative. Hang on one second. This new narrative that Sigfredo Garcia was friends with this drug dealer, and maybe it was the drug dealer that went up to Tallahassee and killed Dan because the drug dealer had delivered drugs to Dan and Dan never paid the money. That was Charlie's allegation, this narrative. Okay, we're almost done, you guys. November 6th, there's a verdict. Donna says to Wendy. Wendy says, and this is not, so there's a verdict at 4:57, right? Wendy doesn't reply until 5:27, so she's probably already heard the verdict. I love you very much. Call if you feel like you can. Donna says, your brother protected you for years. Now you are not guilty. Your lawyer took very good care of you. You can bury me in the dress that I bought for Lincoln's bar mitzvah. I'm just over it, you guys. I'm over it. Okay. And then the last thing that this guy testifies to is that on November 7th, which is the day after the verdict. Yeah. Day after the verdict. Donna Adelson is on chat with Vietnam Visa on WhatsApp, I think, at 3:55 p.m. asking for a 90-day fast-track emergency visa that was multi-entry so she could come in and out of the country. Then on the 13th of November at 5 a.m., she gets the visa that she asks. She also stops all of her Amazon deliveries. She puts out a note to sell this gun. at 7:30 in the morning, there's a picture of, oh, sorry, not 7:30 in the morning, 7 hours and 30 minutes. There's a picture of her planner where it basically says her laundry list of things she has to do before she leaves out of the country. Among these are stopping the Amazon delivery, packing, canceling the disability insurance, and making arrangements to continue to pay child support to Charlie's baby mama for the next 2 years. Not planning to come home anytime soon. Have a look at that planner for as long as you want. Hit pause and read it if you want to. Then Donna tells Wendy, Donna wants to tell Wendy to tell Dan, who is Charlie's attorney, to tell Charlie on the private line that they've left for Vietnam. Because if Wendy just tells Charlie, that's not privileged. But if Wendy tells the attorney and the attorney tells Charlie, then that'll be privileged and protected. And then at 7:33, this is a text with Wendy, and this is the text that they referenced on the phone call already. It was on the phone call that we did at the beginning, so I'm not going to reread it, but basically saying, I don't want to talk to you about the case. I want to tell you everything that's going on, business things that need to be taken care of. These are really important things. So on this forensic extraction report, if I can actually get it to go.
And then was there evidence in Donna Adelson's phone of
Just wanting to find this last couple of things here. The searches that Donna Adelson did. And okay, so here it is. At 11:13 at 5:56 a.m., states with no extradition treaties. Then at 12:16 p.m., lists of United States extradition treaties. 12:16 p.m., just to like at the same time, how to get to Ho Chi Minh City from 5 nearby airports. Then at 8:48 a.m. on the 7th. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, these are backwards in order of backwardsness. Sorry about that. How to get to Ho Chi Minh City from 5 nearby airports. She Googled that twice. So that was her web history extraction report from November 7th and November 13th, basically. And then, okay, so on cross-examination, basically they noted that Donna had a plan to sell her jewelry, the dental implants, her dishes, and some comics. And they said, are we sure that it was Donna Adelson that had comics? Blah, blah, blah. There was a discussion about dishes being in the spare bedroom closet. There was kind of a funny joke there. If you have the time or brain space, go back and watch it. I'm running out of time here, and I'm not going to be able to do my happy hour. So anyway, but I want to make sure I report this thoroughly for you guys. Does selling all of this stuff equate fleeing the country? By itself, no, it doesn't. But together with everything else that we know about what was going on in that time, then he asked if this guy knows about multi-entrance visas. Well, he didn't. And then he asked a follow-up question. Would you say that multi-entrance visas means this? And it's like, well, yes, I guess somebody with a brain would say that. But there was no indication that Donna Adelson was specifically aware of the conversations between Charlie Adelson and Catherine McBanawa, that they were so tight and friendly with each other. Then on redirect, they came back to talking about the good news in the paper, and they recalled the Vietnam search. And then the state rested. And so I was absolutely stunned by that, but I think that they did an excellent job. They wrapped it up with this witness basically going through the timeline of what and all of the activities that Donna and Harvey were doing to get ready to leave the country. The thing that I definitely don't understand is why they waited so long to leave the country. you know, they really believed that Charlie was going to be acquitted, apparently. Otherwise, they would have done all this long in advance. It just goes to the hubris that this family had, that they really believed that they were going to get away with all of this stuff, you know? So I can only stay for a few minutes, but I do want to invite you guys at least to a few minutes of a happy hour. I can't stay for very long because I have other plans this evening, but thank you so much for being here on the recap. Please share the recap with people who don't want to watch court for 8 hours. And for those who do, please join us in our live stream on Tuesday morning. I'll be streaming the whole rest of the trial, and I will have a recap for you every single day. If you're watching this on the replay, please leave a comment for me below if I missed something, or if you think that there's something that I didn't cover that was super important. I always want to make sure to get the details out there. And as always, I'm going to say, please take care of yourself. You know why? Because if you don't take care of yourself and heal your own emotional wounds, you could end up like Donna. And we don't want anyone ending up like Donna. We don't ever want anybody to be in the same situation that Dan Markel's family has been in. Justice for Dan Markel, and peace and love and light to his family and his children. And that's why I always say, take care of yourself. Please do. Have a great night.